So you're looking for a client for your social media marketing agency. Well, did you know that not all clients are created equal? There are good clients, there are bad clients, and there's everything else in between, and I've had all of them. So what I want to do is sit down and share with you the traits you need to be looking for in a client to have a successful relationship and bring a lot of success to both your agency and their business as well. So if you stick around to the very end of this video, you're going to have a very clear picture, not only what a good client pays, but the sort of mindset they have, how to avoid the bad clients and save yourself a lot of time and headache down the line. So make sure you stick around to the end, and if you hear anything that you like, go ahead and press that like button for me. Thanks, let's get right into it. So first things first, as a little sidebar, every single agency owner needs one of these, okay? This is called a book. You may not be familiar with it, but it has paper and you can write things in it. Every single agency owner needs one. They come in clutch when you're on sales calls, when you're sitting here maybe on the couch thinking about who your ideal client is, right? Who exactly are you looking to service with your agency? In this book here, I've written down all of the traits my ideal client has. I've written it down in an ideal client profile. So we're gonna go through it. I'm gonna share with you some pretty interesting things. So number one, a good rule of thumb is the more you're charging a client, the better client they will be. Why is that? Well, number one, of course, you'll be generating more revenue. And if you're getting them results, they'll be generating more revenue as well. Now, I'm not saying go out and charge someone $20,000 a month to be their agency. That's ridiculous. But what I am telling you is that the clients that you're charging pennies for your service are actually going to be the most obnoxious and needy and clingy people you'll ever have to deal with. And that's just simply due down to the psychology of the way you've priced your services. People view a higher ticket item as more valuable, right? And people value people's time. So if you're charging them pennies for a service, they're likely to be on you. And they're also, if they can only afford that, they're probably in not as great of a financial situation in the first place anyway, so they're much tighter with their dollars spent. So right off the bat, charge more for your services, okay? There's no reason you can't charge $2,500 a month plus ad profit, as Jaime really preaches about in his mentorship and his YouTube videos, to your clients, right? So there's no reason you can't do that. So that's number one, just charge more for your services. Now that being said, you need to have a clearly defined pricing structure so you can ensure you can get your clients results, okay? There's no reason you should be charging someone $5,000 a month if you're only spending about $2,000 in ad spend a month. You just would never make any money that way for your client or for your agency. Now, let's talk about the other traits. What should you be looking for in a client, right? What would make me happy to see in someone that I'm on a sales call with and think this person is someone I need to work with? Well, number one, I'm looking for someone who's humble. I can tell you, I've worked with people who are humble and who are not, and it is much more of a pleasure to work with someone that's down to earth, willing to talk to you, that doesn't think they're better than you or anyone else really. We're all on the same playing field, and you can have really down to earth conversations about your goals, your missions, their brand, and really figure out where they're coming from. So that's the first thing you should be looking for. Number two, you need to be willing to work with somebody that is not driven by fear, okay, by an abundance mindset. And it's also extremely important that you yourself are not driven by scarcity and you have abundance. So when you're going into these sales calls and when you're interacting with your clients, that really shines through every single conversation you have with them. But when you're working with a client who's driven by fear and perhaps scarcity, and they need this to work out, you're not going to be able to play the long game, which is often going to be the most profitable for a business when you're willing to really take it the extra mile. And you're going to be making decisions based on the short term, right? And oftentimes those are not the best decisions to make. So if one of your clients happens to be driven by extreme scarcity and fear, chances are that they may be reconsidering your partnership. This is what these types of people tend to do due to the situations that they're in. So if you have a client like that, maybe it's worth sitting down and really exploring that topic together. At the end of the day, we are all people. Your clients, myself, you, and conversations are the tools that we have to understand one another. So it might be worth a shout to sit down, talk to your client about where their concerns are and see if you can help fix any of those. Number 3 and 4 also play into that one quite heavily. You're looking for a long-term thinker and someone that has a growth mindset versus the scarcity and fear mindset. Someone that's ready to grow and understand that it may be down the long term that this happens, that is going to give you unparalleled freedom to work together and to really envision this business of how it could be, 12, 24, 36 months down the road, even longer in some cases. So if you find yourself sitting across from a prospect who's displaying some of the qualities we've talked about so far, which we're not done yet, if you found yourself there, it might just be time to really tighten up your sales game and make sure you get to work with this person, because it's going to be a pleasure for you and your agency. If you're liking this video so far, go ahead and let me know. Comment down below. Maybe you've thought of one that I haven't mentioned yet. Go ahead and just comment it, or go ahead and give the video a like. All right, that will really help out the algorithm and us to understand if we're making decent content for people. And for number 5, we're really looking for someone who is driven by facts and data and not emotion. Now, emotion when it comes to business doesn't have much of a place. Now, it can be great for making that decision to hop on board with somebody. For example, if you leverage emotion in your sales calls, great, that may work out really well for you. But when it comes to the actual service delivery of running a social media marketing agency and doing email marketing or paid advertising or whatever other service you're offering to your clients, emotion should not really come into play here. You need to do a good job of presenting the facts and data, and also have a client that's willing to respect those facts and data. For example, if ad strategy A works really, really good, but the client doesn't resonate with it as much, versus ad strategy B, which the client loves, but is proven to have abysmal results in return, you really need to go with ad strategy A. At the end of the day, they hired you to do a job, and they need to let you do that job. So don't work with people that don't respect your expertise or the facts or the data, okay? So just to recap, and I'll read straight from the book here, you're looking for someone who's humble, that gives you the freedom to test, that respects facts and data, that doesn't micromanage you, is a long-term thinker, not driven by fear, but instead a growth mindset, and is willing to listen and learn. If you found that you have a client like that, good job. You have a perfect client, and you really need to make sure you can deliver great results for this person, because honestly, they are a pleasure to work with. However, if you think your client does not meet these standards, does not fit in this ideal client profile, then my friend, you have found your way into not an ideal situation. So I would definitely be on the lookout for these qualities and traits moving forward. So hopefully this helps you, because if I had known this 9 months ago when I started my agency, it so would have helped me. And just to introduce myself to you, my name is Talis Weisgood, and I am the Student Success Manager and Supporting Coach here at School of E-com for Jaime's mentorship program. All day long, I'm hopping on one-on-one calls with other mentees, answering their questions. Because I have scaled my agency to that 10K a month mark in record-breaking time, people have found value into talking to somebody that's just a few steps ahead of where they are. So not only am I doing this, but I'm still actively running my agency every single day, which is where I get the ideas to create content like this for you. So if you have any ideas, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let us know down below. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.